The sun, a relentless orb of fire, begins its slow descent, casting long shadows that stretch like grasping fingers across the vast expanse of the savanna. A sea of gold and green that ripples under the evening breeze. And it is here, within this ancient theater of life and death, that our story unfolds. The story of a lion, a male whose presence is felt in the very air, known in the whispers of the wind as Jabari. Deep within a protective thicket of acacia trees, he opens his eyes, two pools of molten amber holding an ancient primal intelligence. And as he rises, the air parts around his massive scarred frame, his dark tangled mane. A crown earned through countless battles, each scar a testament to a victory hard won. He moves with a deceptively languid grace, a steady and controlled power, his silent passage sending a ripple of alarm through the grass of smaller denizens as he heads towards his watchtower, a rocky outcrop that offers a panoramic view of his domain. A breathtaking tapestry of life, from the shimmering watering hole to the endless grasslands where herds move like a single breathing organism, their collective anxiety a tangible scent on the wind. This kingdom, however, was not inherited. It was forged in exile and claimed by tooth and claw. His story began as a gangly spotted cub tumbling over his siblings in a hidden den, his world then defined by the warm comfort of his mother and the playful yet crucial lessons in stalking and pouncing that were his first education in the art of survival. That idyllic childhood was shattered by a cataclysm familiar to his kind, the arrival of nomadic challengers, their ground-shaking roars heralding a brutal coup that overthrew the pride's reigning males and sent his family scattering for their lives. Leaving the young Jabari alone and terrified, hidden in a thicket, his world reduced to the single overwhelming instinct to remain silent and still as the scent of blood and strange males sealed his fate. This exile became his crucible, a period of profound hardship where he learned the relentless lessons of solitude. His once plump frame grew lean and hard, his senses sharpened to a razor's edge as he hunted small, elusive game, his hunger a constant companion while learning to avoid the ever-present threats of hyena clans and solitary leopards. A temporary alliance with his surviving brother provided a crucial turning point, their bond strengthening through shared hardship as they practiced hunting coordination on older, weaker prey, their youthful roars deepening into the powerful chest-vibrating bellows that would one day announce their claim to a land of their own. The day finally came when, having reached the peak of their power, they challenged an aging, complacent male, their coordinated attack a furious, decisive whirlwind of dust and fury that ended with the defeated king limping away into oblivion, allowing Jabari to stand atop the rocky outcrop and, for the first time, unleash a roar that erupted from his very core, a rolling thunder of proclamation that silenced the plains, a sound declaring a new order and a new king. His reign settled into a rhythm of patrol and protection, but kingship is a constant, active defense. A truth made violently clear when a massive rival with a misshapen ear and a savage reputation began encroaching on his territory, his roars a nightly challenge, the tension building for days until the inevitable confrontation at the watering hole erupted into a cataclysmic collision of muscle and fury. The two titans circling, then charging, a whirlwind of dust, blood, and terrifying snarls where jaws snapped at spines and claws raked flanks in a battle fought for everything: mates, land, life itself. Just as defeat seemed possible, Jabari summoned a final reserve of strength, his jaws closing on his rival's foreleg with a decisive crack. A turning tide that sent the challenger fleeing, beaten, and broken, securing Jabari's reign for another season, leaving him victorious yet grievously wounded, his body a new canvas of pain, his legend forever cemented. In the peace that followed, we see the other side of kingship. The continuation of a legacy witnessed in the tender, fleeting moments of fatherhood as a new generation of his spotted cubs tumble and play around his massive patient form, pulling at his mane with tiny teeth, their mews a stark contrast to his deep, contented purr, a rumble of transient peace, while the true engines of the pride, the lionesses, execute the flawless, coordinated hunts that sustain them, all their sleek bodies flowing through the grass in a silent, deadly ballet of stealth and explosive speed that culminates in a necessary kill, the natural order enforced. But the wilderness has no patience for the aging, and the seasons have turned, leaving Jabari's dark mane streaked with gray, a stiffness now evident in his gait, the weight of his years settling upon his broad shoulders. The whispers of change have returned on the wind, carried in the distant, ambitious roars of a new coalition of young males. Their voices a haunting echo of his own past, a clear and present danger to his rule. He hears them, and in his weary eyes one can see not fear, but a solemn recognition of the inevitable cycle that governs all things here. The final confrontation, a furious cacophony of challenge and defiance, happens off camera, its grim conclusion implied in the tense silence of the pride and the absence of his familiar form on the rocky outcrop at dusk. The next morning, the new kings stand where he once stood, their roars fresh and vigorous, proclaiming a new dawn. And Jabari is gone, vanished into the long grass, his fate a mystery as is the way of the wild. Perhaps he fell to his wounds, finding a quiet final rest, or perhaps he simply walked on, a phantom returning to the earth. His legacy, however, endures not in stone, but in the blood of the cubs he sired and in the very air of the savanna which seems to carry the faint regal echo of his roar. A timeless reminder of the rise and fall of kings, a story of power, resilience, and the unyielding cycle of life itself forever etched into the soul of the wilderness.